Hey everyone, it's Lucy from KBeautyHobby.com. Welcome to my nail channel. I do tons of different reviews for DIY nails and nail systems here. If this is something that interests you, please check out all my other videos. I have different playlists by type of nail, setup, etc. Today we're going to try a new to me but highly requested product, this Ohora Cured Gel press-on nails. I bought these with my own money. This is not a sponsored video. As always, all opinions are going to be honest. It's my first time trying this. I like short nails more than medium and long, but medium is what I could find, and these were the shortest ones available, so I got that. I'll put links for everything I'm using in the description box should you want to pick something up. On the back, the brand gives some very simple instructions of selecting the size, prepping, priming, drying, and then pressing. These do not require a lamp. I am a little bit skeptical. I'll tell you why in a minute. This is what we have inside: little prep pads and a tiny see-through cuticle prep stick, looks to be plastic, a bottle of O primer, lock and shield, and the nails themselves. I do really like that they are individually packaged versus having a bin of mystery sizes to sift through. This is really nice. The nails themselves don't feel like they have anything on the underside. There's nothing sticky. They're very, very smooth. So I don't know if this is a primer or a glue. It sounds more like a glue with this 3-minute dry time, but we'll see. We can start by picking out the sizes. The nails are not very curved. You can see a bit of a curvature here. They are somewhat flexible, so if your nails are flatter than mine, you should still be able to flatten these. Unfortunately, no size is listed on the nail itself. Maybe that's a good thing if you don't like those tiny embossed numbers visible on the free edge, but I would have preferred a marked size because I like to write down the sizes that I'm using if I'm going to reuse the brand. My best tip for sizing any press-on is to set it down on your nail and then press as if you are actually gluing it on. Apply the pressure so that the nail spreads on the nail bed and you can see if it's digging into any sides. This one here is not digging into any sides, but you can see a piece of my natural nail visible on the side here and on the side here, so this is probably too narrow for me. I'm going to try a size up. Even though these are not marked, they are arranged from smallest to largest here, so that at least gives you an idea of what size to try next. Now this is better, and when I press down, you can't really see anything. This tiny corner right here, I could file off a little bit because it's just a free corner of my nail. You might want to go a size bigger on the press-on if you would have to take a significant amount of sidewall down. You don't really want to file your sidewalls, but for me, it wouldn't be the sidewall that's the problem. It's just this tiny little corner. So I think this is the size for my thumb, and this should be perfect. We're going to repeat this process for all of the fingers, and then I like to arrange the nails somewhere close to my working area in the order that I'm going to apply it, so I don't have to second guess it during the actual application. I randomly picked one of the middle sizes from the other tray, and this one seems to be just fine for my index finger. It's not digging anywhere and it's covering the nail bed very well. So I think that's probably going to be the size for my index. It is okay to try it on both hands. Not everybody has perfectly symmetrical hands, so you might need a slightly different size for one hand versus the other. I picked out what I think are the correct sizes for my fingernails. This is what I have left in the bigger tray. This is what I have left in the smaller tray. I know it's hard to figure out if these are your sizes or not just by looking at it, but for reference, I'm a very tall person. I am 5'9", and I wear a size 5.5 to 6 ring on my left hand. So I don't have very big fingers, but there are plenty of sizes here left that are bigger than the ones I needed, and also plenty of sizes left that are smaller than what I needed. It does seem like a nice, good selection for different hand sizes. Hopefully something fits you if you decide to try this brand. This next part is the most important part for any manicure. I say this in almost every one of my videos, and this will be nail prep. I like to start by washing my hands with soap and water and thoroughly drying them. You can do Dawn dish soap if you'd like, if you have very oily nail beds. I don't tend to need to do that. I have dry nails. Somebody asked in my last video if my nails are dry and brittle because of the manicures I do. They're not. My nails are dry and brittle. I actually wouldn't say they're brittle. I guess they look brittle to people. They're not brittle, but they are dry and they're ridged. And it's not because of anything I'm doing to them. This is all internal things, health related, etc. Even if I take a very long break from manicures, my nails don't really look any different. So do not worry if your nails are healthy now and if you're treating them gently and removing things properly. I do have a few removal videos you can check out for different gentle methods of removing both stickers and press-on nails. But if you're doing everything correctly, you're not going to end up with nails like mine if yours don't already look like mine. After washing and drying, I push back the cuticle. I love these little metal cuticle pushers. I also have a tool like this. They pretty much do the same thing. I prefer the smaller tool. It's a little bit easier to maneuver. It also has a pointy end over here, and that's very, very useful for sometimes scraping a little bit of whatever got dislodged after the pushing and kind of get that off a little bit. We'll also pick up the rest of it with a prep pad, so I wouldn't worry too much about making it perfect. The reason we push back, even if we don't see any visible tissue on the nail, is because sometimes there's this thing called invisible cuticle. Of course, that's not any sort of official name, but that's what we've been calling it in the nail world for at least a decade. And that basically refers to a little bit of skin, a little bit of tissue on your nail plate that you may not be able to see. And we don't want to put anything over that because it's simply not going to stick. And the same even goes for regular nail polish. If you paint over skin, it's not going to last. You can see how much stuff is coming out here. So it's important not to rush this step. If you prefer a cuticle remover, you can certainly use that. I've only tried the Sally Hansen brand and it's fine. I don't do that here for the videos because you need water and I don't have very easy access to water here. Plus, after applying that cuticle remover, I still have to push back the tissue and I just don't find that it does anything super special for me. But if you prefer it, if it does something special for you, there's nothing wrong with using a cuticle remover. The final step of the prep is removing any possible residue, any oil, anything left on the nails. They actually give you 4 prep pads, which is nice. I already used one because, as you might be able to see, I went ahead and did my non-dominant hand off camera. The reason I did that is because I wanted to give you a more thorough overview of the process, and I figured I'll go ahead and try it without a camera in the way to kind of see even how liquid this primer is or how careful I have to be with it. We're going to go ahead and degrease everything. Now, if you for some reason run out of the primer pads or you lose them or whatever, typically using a rubbing alcohol prep pad like the Curad one works just as well, and that's what I use for a lot of my manicures. The reason we did the prep last is because when you are sizing up the nails, you are touching your nails a lot, and you can accidentally deposit some of your skin oil from the other hand onto the nail beds. Sometimes I'll do all the cuticle prep first, do the sizing, and then do the wipe very last. This time I just did all the sizing first and then did all of the prep last. This is their primer. I think it's glorified nail glue. It smells horrible and it has this weird stringy consistency. I'm gonna try and show it. It's very difficult to see, but when you pull it out, it almost leaves like these very thin, yeah, you can't see it on camera, but it leaves these very thin strings and it's just viscous. But the smell doesn't seem to linger, and it's not quite acetone smell, but it's not pleasant. But it's nice and thick, it's not runny, and it does not drip, which is good. I suggest starting from your pinky and working toward the thumb to avoid pooling of this primer on your thumbs. Now, the additional instructions on the back side of that little paper that we removed to get into the box. Oh, see that string? You can't see it. There's a string from my nail all the way to the brush. The additional instructions state to use a thick layer for best adhesion, but to not get it on your skin, to not go over the cuticle. I don't want to do too thick of a layer. On my first hand that I did off camera, I did go back and add a little bit more of this primer. It's not the same as the brush-on glues that I've used in terms of consistency, so I don't know if they have some sort of special formula. I'm sure their marketing department will say that, yes, absolutely. And full disclosure, I have partnered with this brand before, and they have sent me some PR in the past, but that still doesn't mean that I love everything they make. I really like their semi-cured nails, the stickers. They're lovely, and actually that tutorial way back when is what made me be able to monetize my channel. It's still one of my most popular, most watched videos. And that was back in the 2020s, kind of when everybody was trying to do their nails at home. But then they had this other product that they tried to launch, and it never ended up coming to the United States, but it was these semi-soft, they were press-ons, but not press-ons. It's like a hybrid between a press-on and a semi-cured gel strip. And it had a heart-shaped tip, similar to what Dashing Diva recently released, which also is no good. But anyway, that product did not work for me. So I applied this, and now we're going to dry this for 3 minutes before we put on the nails. Make sure that the layer is nice and thick, because after drying it for 3 minutes, I don't think it really spreads very well after you press the nail on, so you kind of want good coverage before you start the 3-minute timer. Hey Siri, set the timer for 3 minutes. It's been 3 very boring minutes. Now it's time to apply these. No pressure, but I'm not sure how easily you could reposition this if you accidentally put them on crooked, so please try your best. I am holding the nail by the very tip, trying not to touch too much the part that is going to be in contact with my nail bed in case it matters. I'm just going to line it up at the cuticle. I like to start at a bit of an angle and then use the plastic nail to push the cuticle back even a little bit more, and then drop it down. The brand says to apply pressure for 10 seconds. I do find this a little bit less stressful than nail glue because it is kind of dried there already. It's not fully dry. I'm sure it's tacky if I touch it. I don't want to touch it to check, but it does not spill out the sides. So you can put a little bit more pressure than you would otherwise be able to with nail glue, with more traditional glue. And I have not made a mess of my other hand, even though obviously me being right-handed, doing my right hand is a little bit trickier than doing my left hand, which is one of the reasons I typically show you my left hand on camera. Another reason is because my camera is sitting on my right and it would get in the way if I was trying to show you the other hand. So 10 seconds is what we want of good pressure. It says also to hold it for 10 seconds with warmth to get stronger adhesion, but then the picture shows you just doing this. So I don't know what warmth they mean. I don't have any warmth to offer other than my skin temperature. And we're going to go in this way through the rest of the hand, and obviously try to be somewhat expedient because the dry time is 3 minutes. Well, if we take too long, then by the time we get to the pinky, that adhesive would have been drying for way longer than 3 minutes. Another reason why I'm a little bit skeptical of this and how this will wear is because I've seen very mixed reviews in online nail communities about this. There were a couple of people that said they love it and they lasted well on them. The marketing materials say 14 days or up to 14 days of wear. But I've seen a lot of people say, nope, these popped off the same day. Take this with a grain of salt as always. We're all different. Our application techniques are different, our nail chemistry is different, and also our attention to detail is going to be different. The way we use our hands is different, etc., etc. Overall, right now, I don't hate these. I really hope they last well because they're so pretty and they feel very nice and thick in a good way. The application instructions do not say anything about avoiding contact with water, but I think it's best practice if you're able to either do these right before bed, to give them a nice long stretch of time without any water to kind of set. But at least if you're not able to do that, at least maybe take an hour of not doing any water heavy tasks like doing dishes by hand or taking a hot bath with your hands submerged, etc. If you do have to do something with water, perhaps consider wearing gloves. I think these look really beautiful and I hope that they last for me. Here is the final look. What do we think? Again, this is the medium oval. I'll try to find the exact color and put it in the description. They're very pretty, shimmery, pearly sort of finish with a bit of this trendy, kind of darker middle that then ombres outward all the way around. At least I think it's still trendy. I'm not sure. I first saw this kind of nail design in Korean nails, but I think it's becoming popular here as well. They feel really nice on the nail beds. I don't feel any pulling, tugging, any pressure. There are some brands that are very, very curved on the nail bed that hurt. Olive and June in the circular packaging is one example. These ones are more flat, but again, they were pretty flexible, so I think they would probably fit a somewhat wide variety of nail curvatures. Here's the length. Now I would consider this long by my standards, but it does say medium. So that means they probably also make longer options. I do like that the cuticle side of the press-ons is a little bit see-through. I'll show you on one that's not attached. If you look here on the edges, it's somewhat transparent, which can help them blend a bit more with your skin and everything and make it look more like an actual manicure that was painted on versus just glued on nails. I think the marketing for this product was genius because I thought I was buying something that is totally a brand new type of nail, and yet literally it's just press-on nails with a brush-on glue. They just call it a primer and they have you wait for 3 minutes before pressing them down. Other brands will say like wait a minute for the glue to get tackier. So great on their part because it did get me curious. It got a lot of you curious as well. That's why people kept requesting that I make this video. As always, the most important thing is how these will wear. What I'm going to try and evaluate is whether or not the adhesion is good. Like, do I have any pop-ups? Do I have any lint or any little gross things getting stuck under here? Because while this translucent edging is great, it's also not great because it does not hide the sins of application or the sins of adhesive, and you can start seeing little lints and little fuzzies getting under there and it ruins the whole look. The second thing is the quality of the actual press-on good? Am I seeing wear and tear? Am I seeing scuffs, chips? The worst brand probably that I've tried for press-ons, well, there's a couple, but one of the worst ones is the Olive and June in the circular packaging because the little glitter and the paint from the nails was just sloughing off. It was horrible. So if these don't do that, great. I wanted to love these so much, but here we are not even 24 hours later and quite a few of them are loose. Now, I originally was going to try and save these because I thought, well, they're good quality. This is just adhesive failure. I will do my hybrid method where I use a sticky tab and then use some glue. Same day, a little bit later in the day, I tried on some new jeans. And that's literally the only quote-unquote manual labor I've done that day. Just button up some new jeans and you can see that there's a huge chip in this index finger, and that made me go ahead and remove all of them and toss them. Removal was very easy. I simply used the cuticle stick to pry them off. Disappointing because I wanted to love these so much. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found this video useful, and if you have any of your own tips or tricks or brands that you'd like me to try, leave me a comment. Also, if you tried this specific product, let me know how it wore for you, what color you got, what lengths did you get. Have you seen any lengths that are a little bit shorter than this? Or is this kind of the standard, the shortest one that people would go for? You can find me on Instagram at kbeautyhobbit, my blog kbeautyhobbit.com, and in my private Facebook group, Korean Beauty Fanatics. The group is not specific to nails. We talk about all different Asian skincare there, like sunscreen recommendations, facial cleansers, different things, or what to use if you're on retinoids and you want your skin to stop peeling, whatever. There's all kinds of different things there, but we do talk about nails occasionally as well, and these nails specifically would definitely end up as a discussion point in the group because they're made in Korea. I appreciate you taking the time to finish the video. I hope to see you in my next one, and until then, please have a wonderful week. Thank you so much. Bye.